we were her second chance. And she was, the day she was put down was a day that she massacred livestock that were part of our neighbors. She attacked me, and it was a hard decision.
Kristi Noem is doubling down on the puppy killing. What do you do when it seems as though the PR losses are stacking up? You put on your pantsuit, I guess, or your suit, and you go on the Sean Hannity program, and you allow him to give you a softball interview about the time you killed a dog. Kristi Noem, as we earlier discussed this week, included in her forthcoming memoir the story of when she made the tough decisions and killed a 14-month-old dog because the dog was rambunctious and bit someone. And she included that in her memoir because she thought it made her look presidential, in the sense that she can make tough decisions and make them correctly, I guess. This has not gone well. This has backfired. She probably has short-circuited her shot at being Trump's VP. Not that Trump cares about dogs. You know, they took him out like a dog. But because Trump probably sees that this is bad optics, that she's made a mess for herself. So here is Kristi Noem last night on the Sean Hannity program, really just doubling down and saying, listen, I made a tough decision. This is the way we do it on the farm.
In your words, why it came to that decision. I mean, unfortunately, dogs that are violent sometimes have to be put down. But I guess people, because you shot.
When you're on the Hannity show justifying dog killing, something has gone wrong in your strategy.
The dog set, is there a difference which way you put a dog down? I'm not really sure, but I don't think people understood it. I want to give you a chance to explain.
Please explain.
Well, Sean, you know how the fake news works. They leave out some or most of the facts of a story. They put the worst spin on it.
Yeah, blame the media. All right, so it's the Trumpian playbook so far.
And that's what's happened in this case. I hope people really do buy this book and they find out the truth of this story, because the truth of this story is that this was a working dog, and it was not a puppy. It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. It had come to us from a family who had found her way too aggressive. We were her second chance, and she was, the day she was put down was a day that she massacred livestock that were part of our neighbors. She attacked me, and it was a hard decision. And the reason it's in the book is because this book is filled with tough, challenging decisions that I've had to make throughout my life.
There you go. So to me, the big story here is the judgment of including this and then also bragging about it as if it shows that you could be vice president and you can make correct, tough decisions. It is not untrue that sometimes violent dogs are put down. It is not untrue that if you're on a remote farm, you might not call out the vet to euthanize the dog with some intravenous medication. You might shoot the dog. I mean, individually, all of these things are true. They're not scandals by themselves. But the thing here that is the big story is the judgment to think, I'm going to include this in the book as an example of when I was faced with a difficult decision. I made the tough decision. I'm tough. I'm vice presidential. I can be right there alongside Donald Trump, which is what's implicit in this book, of course, as Noem continues to quietly campaign to be Trump's VP. That's the wild thing. And also the lack of foresight that a lot of people will find this disgusting. Even if it is true that sometimes dogs that bite are put down, even if it is true that dogs that go after livestock on farms it's a known issue that some people deal with, and you can deal with it different ways. Maybe she could have adopted the dog out. I don't know. But the lack of vision that this is going to be seen as a ridiculous hook to hang your coat on as, look at how great I am at making tough decisions. It's a total lack of foresight, vision, and judgment. And it's gotten to the point where it's so bad. She's so desperate to try to fix this that she's running to Sean Hannity to do his trademarked Republican softball interview thing about how great of a person you are and how everybody's going after you and it's so unfair. And of course, naturally, Kristi Noem is following the Trump playbook, which we know at this point, which is blame the media. They're not giving you the full story. They did give you the full story. As I reported it to you, the dog was rambunctious and it bit, I would even say I went further than what she said. I think it bit a person as well as going after livestock. And okay, I don't think that there's been a lack of detail or context in the story. The big failure here is Kristi Noem's failure to realize that this doesn't really bolster your credentials of being a decision maker that can be put in difficult situations and make the right choices. It's actually the completely boneheaded decision to include a dog killing story in your novel. That's a Freudian slip. In your memoir, assuming that it is a memoir and not a novel, as something that people are going to say, wow, you know what? This is who we need. One heartbeat away from the presidency. Not for me, folks. Not for me. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.